Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's begin. First up, we begin with COVID-19 updates. New Hampshire COVID-19 pandemic information, graphs, and case data. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 8,731 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 7,485,331 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 446 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 743 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 216 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 72. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 2138. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the orange. New hospitalization, and then the red are the deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases in the orange. Total hospitalization. Red deaths and blue recovered. And now let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases. Female and male of cases and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Peterborough Town Clerk donates possum after contracting COVID-19. Clerk says she learned possum was used to treat a person in South Carolina. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
The pandemic has made everything harder, but AARP New Hampshire is fighting to protect Americans 50 plus by giving you the information you need to vote safely at home or in person. Learn more at aarp.org/nhvotes.
When I got the notice that I did test positive for antibodies, I decided I wanted to give my plasma.
Earlier this year, Peterborough Town Clerk Linda Guyette tested positive for COVID-19. While she never developed any symptoms, there were some anxious moments.
Every day I took my temperature, thinking that, wondering whether I would actually get a temperature or cough or any of that.
Guyette says she knew people that weren't so lucky and considers herself fortunate. And then she got a note.
The Red Cross sent out notices that they were looking for people who had had COVID to go in, and when you gave blood, they were testing to see if you had antibodies.
After testing positive, she decided to take the next step and donate her plasma, recently receiving word that her donation was used to help someone in South Carolina.
Which was making me feel like this whole thing wasn't for naught. There was a bright spot in my day.
Guyette says that she now has plans to donate again this Sunday.
It was just really cool to think that that little bag of plasma that I gave is actually helping someone.
The town clerk says it takes about 1.5 to 2 hours to donate the plasma, but she says that's a small price to pay for helping out someone in need. In Peterborough, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire Attorney General's office says November voting process will be secure. Officials point to successful New Hampshire primary. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
The pandemic has made everything harder, but AARP New Hampshire is fighting to protect Americans 50 plus by giving you the information you need to vote safely at home or in person. Learn more at aarp.org/nhvotes.
It's less than a month now until the November 3rd election. State officials are working to make sure the process is protected. The Attorney General's office is confident it will be.
We routinely communicate with election officials to make sure that they're up to date on all the pertinent trainings and information that they need in order to carry out the elections.
Those trainings are routinely held by the Secretary of State's office up until voting day. And on its website, a 400-page document outlines procedures for poll workers to follow.
Our election officials are by far one of the most diligent group of individuals that are responsible for carrying out our elections, and they do so with tremendous efficiency and accuracy.
The AG's office says the September primary was successful in the Granite State, with many questions coming out of it about absentee ballots. Any concerns are handled by the Secretary of State and AG offices.
But even before Election Day, if there are any questions about the process or the temporary modifications as a result of COVID-19, please don't hesitate to give us a call, and we'll be sure to help you as best we can.
By working together on the state and local levels, officials say this election, like others before it, will be secure.
We are going to make every effort possible in conjunction with our election officials to make sure that the ability to vote on an election day is easy to interact with and accessible.
If voters have concerns about fraud or other issues, the Attorney General's office has an election hotline that you can reach at 1-866-VOTER-03. In Concord, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Pinkerton back on hybrid learning model after staff absences on Monday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The pandemic has made everything harder, but AARP New Hampshire is fighting to protect Americans 50 plus by giving you the information you need to vote safely at home or in person. Learn more at aarp.org/nhvotes.
Pinkerton Academy staff and students are back on campus for their hybrid learning schedule after a quick switch to remote learning yesterday. The headmaster said they had 20 staff absences and not enough time to fill them. There is enough coverage today for any teachers who are out. Pinkerton has some scheduled remote learning days coming up for pre-planned deep cleaning.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. "2020 Halloween trick-or-treating. Dates, times in New Hampshire. Some communities might have different procedures than in years past due to COVID-19. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The pandemic has made everything harder, but AARP New Hampshire is fighting to protect Americans 50 plus by giving you the information you need to vote safely at home or in person. Learn more at aarp.org/nhvotes.
Laconia's annual Pumpkin Fest was canceled this year because of the coronavirus, but they are allowing trick-or-treating on October 31st.
We've reduced the hours from 3 hours at night to 2 hours with a recommended time frame of 5 to 7 p.m.
The police department is asking anyone giving out candy to leave it by their front door to limit interactions. Families can also come to O-Pee-Chee Park. Organizers say kids can walk through a one-way, socially distanced line to receive some treats. Mask wearing is required at the park and when trick-or-treating.
We're actually giving the candy givers grabbers so they can pick up the candy and hand it to the kids without actually touching or coming near. So it's just an option for everyone to stay safe.
The town of Amherst is taking a slightly different approach. Trick-or-treating on Halloween night is also allowed there, but will be limited.
They should be trick-or-treating in their own neighborhoods and not congregating in the village.
The Park and Recreation Director says it's tradition for roughly 2,000 people to come to the village near the town hall on Halloween, including some from out of town. But this year, officials don't think it can be done safely.
We're trying to keep people in their own neighborhoods. And we've had some great plans from neighborhoods of bike parades and those sorts of things, so kids will still be able to partake and show off their costumes.
Officials here in Laconia tell us they just got approval for the O-Pee-Chee Park event, so they'll be releasing more details very soon. Right now, they are looking for volunteers to hand out candy. Reporting in Laconia, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this evening edition. Have a great rest of your Tuesday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.